All right, good evening, good morning, Merry Christmas in arrears, and Happy New Year's in advance. Compliment of the season, everybody. This is Felix. Uh, it's a weekly market update. Today is Sunday, the 28th of December, 2025. That means we have a few days left for 2025 to pack off. It's so super amazing. You agree with me? It has been an amazing year. You can't deny that fact. Even if you have not made the plenty of millions you imagine to make or aspire to make. 2026 is still a very fantastic year to get what you didn't get in 2025. So you're welcome to tonight and today weekly market update. The next weekly market update is going to be 2026. That's what it means. I'll be January 2026. And so this should be the last Sunday weekly market update for 2025. I think it's super amazing. And of course, there are phenomenal things that we need to equally imagine and expect that to probably happen in 2020, as we're wrapping up the year and whatever thing we're going to look at and all of that. So you're welcome tonight, wherever you're connected from. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, just put on the comment section 111 for me to know that you're hearing me loud and clear. It's very important. All right. So if you can hear me loud and clear, go to the comment section and type 111 is very, very important. All right. A very quick one. I'm going to be going to the market updates before showing us the variety of opportunity we have in Plan B Express. And of course, the Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club. The promo of 50% offer is winding up the 31st of this month. That's wrapping up the year. So that should be next week, Wednesday. Massive. So today is Sunday. So tomorrow, Monday, next tomorrow, Wednesday, next tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Thursday, the 31st. That should be the last day of the offer. All right, for congratulations, those of you who have maximized it and all of that. Okay, so very quick one. I have the chart of Bitcoin on my screen, and I'm going to be going to that straight away before looking at the usual culture of looking at DXY. Now, you can see Bitcoin. I told us that the Bitcoin ordinarily, where I expect Bitcoin to return back to, was this the low down of the range. And but fortunately we got truncated here, but there are a few things around this truncation because even right now bitcoin has some liquidity issue, um, or liquidation area at the price of oh, let me check it. So at the price of some liquidity volume at about 84, 85,000. So that means Bitcoin is in between the deep sea right now. So we have some liquidation point at 84, 85,000 region and some other liquidation point from 89,000 to about 91,900. Let's call it 92,000. Now, Bitcoin will make a more safer move for a massive up if we can cross above 94,000 plus, right? But nevertheless, that has not stopped. If you look at it, if you look at the market practically, you know that the market is what it is. And just like we need to break out of this point and retest, then we can have. I have a long position I bought in, but I've taken the profit perhaps on Bitcoin and then having other positions still open and trailing my stop loss, okay, on Bitcoin because that was last week when we have Bitcoin run down, and then of course we have our scanner that was taken up into those points as it were. Okay, thank you very much. So now, if that is the case, so you are going to have Bitcoin, right? You're going to have Bitcoin. Just a moment. Just a moment, please. Okay, so now let's go. Looking at Bitcoin, like I've said, so we need actually to break out of that point for us to have, sorry, dimension of the market movement for continuation of. But nevertheless, we have to be careful too, and that's why if I'm taking any position, I try as much as possible to have a lighter security uh, control. That's a lower exposure, which is a massive risk management strategy to avoid, unnecessary hassle and all of that. So, but give and take, if we continue to do a sideways move, then able to break out and retest, then we can have 4,000 targeting, which but invariably you already know that Bitcoin seems to have created the high here and struggle down, even though we have a target of 132,000, 136,000, 156 to 176,000. But those were extra, even 110,000, 125,000 were extra. So, but we don't bother so much about that. Whatever market do, you just need to know what you are doing in it. Okay. So we're looking for Bitcoin to break out, and then we can take some opportunity. Now, if you look at Bitcoin on 4 hour time frame, then you can find out that the the resistance is strong over it, unable to actually make it up to that point. But we did some scalping last week, and then we're able to make some profit. It got to a profit level, and now it's struggling. So before you can count anything, you probably will have to wait till the candle close tonight and a new market open by 1 a.m. Nigeria local time, which is an Asia section. Then for breakout and then supported here, then we can continue the move of 94,000. So just have to be on the lookout, for that at that region. So let's quickly look at DXY, which is the major predominant. But I've told us the DXY had been having it rough. So it ought to have taken up a leg up, but could not because of so many factors we saw and then we explained previously. So let's look at DXY as it relates to, even though so many markets, crypto was separated, gold was separated, silver was the best performing of this year so far. Okay, that's XAG. Many do not even remember. If you are in our community, you remember that I trade XAG, I trade oil. So those are some of those commodity and metal that I trade. Okay, so now look at the DXY as a major determinant. All right. So DXY, we're having DXY here. So let's look at it. Um, so overall of DSY has some issues where we ought to have broken out of this limitation for a very long time. If you look at it here, okay, so we have some level of limitation for DXY. Now, I told us about this point that was very, very significant for us to continue. But from the look of things, from the look here, so we expect some kind of bounce before the continuation, but because this was a major support level for DXY. Now, so if we can continue to hold on by next week over here and able to break, the challenge I'm looking at is that this is a liquidity point for it. Could take it up, smith to this point, and then continue to sell down. But before then, that means we're going to have this continuation next week. So what should I look out on? Euro USD, GBP USD, USD CHF, AUD USD, and all of those things. That means you're going to find a good window of selling for Euro USD. We sold Euro USD since last week, and then we took some profits, and then expect some maybe a continuation of the movement downward again if we can have this rebounding back on DXY, and which you can look at quickly. Let me look at it. So I don't open all my chart with this here. So look at Euro USD. So that means you're going to have a sell down because actually, uh, probably we expect Euro USD to actually come back to a demand zone, a kind of other block somewhere here before having a bounce. And the same thing, all right, for GBP USD. All right, GBP USD, where are you? Sorry about that. All right, so the same thing on GBP USD. Well, fortunately, oh, sorry, not GBP JPY. Where's GBP USD travel to? GBP USD. What's going on here? Okay, so let's look for GBP USD, okay? GBP USD. Yeah, he's there. So what's going on? Okay, here we go. Okay, so the same thing for the GBP USD. So as far as we have this trend for Euro USD, then you should have opportunity for it to pull back, and that pullback is going to give you a more selling opportunity. If you look at it on 4 hours, then you could find, that point of returning back to this region, and that will give you an opportunity to sell down. Probably let's look at it. How many pips is going to be? That's going to be about. Let's look at it. Back to this point. So that's about 90 something pips. Let's call it 80 to 90 pips. That's not a bad deal. So the same thing on Euro USD, like I said. Um, so as long as you have, okay, as long as you have the DXY having those points I mentioned, then the Euro USD to continue. I actually have a selling position on Euro USD since over here, and then in between we're having buy sell, within a lower time frame. Okay, so you should look at if you're going to be have a continuation for Euro USD. So that means you're looking at perhaps average of how many pips, 40, 45 pips, and all of that. And if all things being equal, that DSY could maintain that up journey, then you're going to have Euro USD up to 100 pips, give and take, before a bounce could come. Okay, so that's one of the things we have to pay attention to. So now I don't trade too many instruments. So let me look at USD JPY. All right, the continuation is still on for USD JPY. I actually told a lot. I sold down here and I took a buy position here that you saw last, I think, sometime I can be on USD JPY for a very long time that will not as if it's an unending trade. Okay. Yeah, because I remember I was on a long position on USD for more than 2 weeks, about 14 to 16 days. I was just running until finally finish up to this point, right? So that means we have continuation this week on USD but you have to just let to see what market DXY will do, and maybe just a little pullback. Then, so if you're targeting to this up, if DSY is going to do its own rally too, excuse me, then that's going to be giving us average of about 100 to 120 pips and all that. The USD JPY have good volume, and so that's what we should look at. Okay, so now let's look at gold quickly. So looking at gold quickly, um, gold has created a powerful, all right, all-time high. That's a new all-time high. Previously, you had this, and the what gold struggle to actually overcome these circumstances here. So normally, gold has this character of doing so. We have a very nice support and then demand zone that stayed for a while here, and then we kept breaking. Looking at so now, so if you look at it, you could now say gold. suppose. Okay, so but you have to. I only tell people you don't give verdict, but you negotiate. Okay, so I negotiate with price. Okay, so you are looking at that. Okay, gold suppose to come down here. All right. So, but that's a negotiation you have to do with price. So you don't give it the verdict. So look at it like this order block for or breaker block, sorry. A combination of breaker block and other block altogether that goes supposed to come back to mitigate the order block, breaker block altogether. But you have to be a little bit careful because if we have, and this is going to be lovely, simple to put, as long as euro, though sometimes go try to create its own excluded kind of volume. Oh, let me check over here, sorry. for you to have some of those broker we give for stock. Sadly, if you're in Nigeria, well, I wouldn't have too much time to start telling us factors that should motivate you buying into some of those stocks, both locally and internationally, especially if you're in Nigeria. So, but we always react instead of preparing. What do they call it? There's an English for that also. We always react just like how many people are motivated by when somebody show I make so profit. So people want to see that profit. Okay, you make this profit. Okay, I want to make the profit too. But when a person is telling you, all of us have the opportunity, to make the profit together, but we always love to wait. Excuse me. So there are quite a number of stocks I always look at because of their significance. Okay. Now, the other week I was telling us, okay, let me just, you probably will not be able to even buy because we were targeting when it's going to hit profit and then we take out the profit. It's already even having some level of rejection as it were like, but I'm looking at, so both local and international stock. We buy some stocks that are more. I bought a BAC last 2 weeks or last month, and it did well for me. That was Bank of America. That's New York listed broker. I think yeah, November. So it did some reasonable profits. I took some, and I kept some there. But look at it. These have been consistently. Can you see right? Now, I know many persons when we talk about this capital market, we have no, and we are not even interested to hearing how does it actually work, because what we know is that a stock market is dead. There's nothing there, especially if you have to do with local stock and all of that, right? So, but quite unfortunate. Even though we had mentioned a lot of stock like Nvidia, many long time before it became a stronghold, the number one in the stock market right now, performing very well, and then a lot of momentum. And $30, but couldn't it, create a double top, and I have a push down, and that was a very nice bouncer. And then I think I seated at 190. So if you claim up to 195 for $200 and couldn't have the momentum, then I will sell to wait for it back at about one. So probably you have to wait for. I remember when I was giving recommend recommendation, all right, on think this was just a price action. This abnormal demand. This is an abnormal demand. So, but there is a factor for that. Now, access to those factors in economy we refer to them as external variables. So those variables are beyond your seeing, they are unforeseen factors. And there are people that have access to those unforeseen factors. Now, but what to do with those unforeseen factors is what matters. So a lot of people say this is a problem, and all of that. I say, well, there are things you need to know. And if you know it, trust me, you're going to be fine. That's the truth. And that's why I encourage people to diversify, spread their tentacles. But let me tell you something. Perhaps this is the last market update for the year 2025. The first thing I want to tell everybody is this: if 2025 has been a year of learning for you, either rough, good, bad, man, the year 2026 should be a year of harvest for you. Let me tell you why. A good number of people fell, you know, there are a lot of regrets you have now in your mind. That's the truth. because of 2025, not in 25, for the past, there are lots of financial mistakes you've made, and you felt that, can I really still make it like, some of those money I wasted because of ignorance? Yeah, why not? Very, very definitely. So you just need to be intentional. I'll tell people, I said, I don't trade peeps. I don't trade for peeps like in Forex. I trade for freedom. So I don't do business for just money. I do business for worth. So if it's worth I'm building my business for, then I shouldn't look at because money left or something. So I should be focusing on the worth. So part of the money loss, part of the ignorance and all of that is the step of the game. All right. And that's one of the things. So if you look at it, if somebody is going to tell me, hey, Felix, why will I buy? If I had somebody I said to buy this stock, and that time the person missed of buying at $28 or Naira, and at the time he was checking, and I asked, have you bought? And when we're checking, was 32 Naira. I just said, go ahead and buy. Did you know that after he bought, he went back to that 28 Naira? Now, if he's looking for those hit and run, or if just looking for money, I'm not saying we should not look for money. If he's just looking for money, then do you know he's going to regret it? He'll look, I will have waited. Oh, I bought at 32 Naira. Now it's 28 Naira. How are we sure the market is going to go up? I know many of us don't read updates. Yeah, so I don't need to start calling in. There are people, volume movers, that when certain meeting occur, I got a glimpse of that information. And I think I posted on our group. See this action, something is going to happen on first holding. And exactly just a week later, see what massively happened. Now, in this case, this is what we call abnormal move, right? Now, there are a few things. This guy supposed to have some correction eventually, right? So this guy is supposed to have some correction eventually, but it has not actually even stopped. So if we're going to have, if it's going to start pulling back here, so that means, where should I be waiting to now start buying again? That's just technical. But so that means the market, I should be waiting for the market anything below 40 naira, right? Anything below 40 naira, 39 naira, or back to 35 naira to then buy again. Now, the question you asked me is that, Felix, so what do I do now? So, if somebody who had bought at the price of 28 naira, right? And there you go, the price went up to as high as 50, that's almost 100%. Now, I'm not going to tell what to do, but I think the need is capital gain captured and spread into other sectors, or even awaiting the retracement of that same asset, right, or instrument, it's very, very good. You now say, okay, let me add more. And then you DCA, and those are the things that many of us do not actually do. Perhaps maybe learning was not gotten, as it were. Okay. So these are some of those talk, and so I just make reference to um, some of those things. Okay, I traded some of those stock, international stock, to previous week back, CMG. Okay, now good. So CMG did a recovery. These are foreign stock, right? So CMG did a recovery from the price of $30 per shares and go to $37. That's about, so for the fact that we're taking some of the profit does not mean, we don't have some of the stock, because if you're just speculating and become just a retail trader of stock, all right, it won't be nice over the years, where some stock you are supposed to hold to make dividend, you are just selling them at a retail price. Now you will miss out of the important move. Example was MTN. All right, MTN, recommendation was given on MTN many years back, right? 158 naira, 165, 170 naira for a very long time. and not many persons actually pay attention to it. And now it's above 500 naira per share. So even if you bought at 200 naira per share, and then dividend paid almost two every time, two times around month of May and month of October, something like that. Last year was a huge amount to an extent, and yeah, last year and the one of May this year too was another fantastic one. Okay, now I'm just sharing all of this with us because this is called financial market. So you are exploring the financial instruments in them, and all of those things are financial vehicle. All right, so they are vehicle for your financial freedom. So they are investment vehicle, and so you just learn how to leverage on them and to make all of those. So some may want to ask, okay, which stock can I recommend? I actually was capturing some stock. Well, if I remember, I was going to post it. Pay attention on our group, and so that I'm going to, because I actually created a lot of segments that I said I was going to give both in crypto and stock today. Maybe I will give it to Rose on Happy New Year. Okay. Okay, so that's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, very quick one I'll recap for us. We have a lot of platforms that were doing their promo, starting from Traded Mastery. Um, I think the promo was extended. I can't remember. Maybe it's 31st. What I will tell us is this: maximizing opportunity when you can is very good. Now, secondly, I will announce to us that we already have started a very massive move, and that move is on the Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club. I know good number of people have not really understood what we're doing there. There are a few things we're doing there. Three broad categories. That's why we call it three in one segment. Number one is passive income. Number two is active income. Number three is residual income. Quickly, let me let you know something. At least we've got good and bad experience in this space, in this online crypto and all of that. And it's not today I've always been saying this that 99 is a see, especially when it's related to crypto. Let me say when related to crypto and forex. Okay. How do I mean? Hmm. We have different platform. And so hear me today. Either you are personally involved, right? For informations. Just like we're saying, let me go to 4 hours or 1 hour, for instance, even 4 hours. If anybody who bought into, let me use this Zane I mentioned now, let's say Zane as a token, as a coin. So if anybody who is in our forum or who is following information and update and bought into this same coin, let me show you something. And I always tell people if you are a trader, you mustn't be you mustn't be a day trader. Okay, you can be a swing trader, you can be a position trader. How? You can be doing it weekly. In fact, crypto is the easiest thing to trade because it's similar to like when you are trading stock. Let like this instrument now. You don't need to know too much thing about technical analysis, though you need to know basics. And either you have learned much or not, that's why you need to have access to information and use them. So look at this stuff now. This market was coming as a downtrend, right? Good. And was moving. And if you're a spot trader, you only buy low to sell high. Simple. Now, this market created something. Let me just quickly show you technical stuff. And please, you can write this thing down if you're following me. I have been saying that trading it's about three things: where, why, and when. Where, why, and when. Where has to do with context. Okay, this is the place I want. If this market gets to, I want to pay attention. And so, if I pay attention, what should make me pay attention? Okay, say if the market come back here, that's a support region. So that means you are looking at that area as a focus point. And now, if that's a focus point, the market actually now came there. You are now looking at this factor and this factor, which has to do what we call confluence, must really appear for me to have conviction. Yeah, you are here. It has to react like this. Then, if I have seen that, that means I've got the confluence. That what we call trigger. Then you are now saying, hey, the next is this. Okay, what are signs that truly is now going to do it? That's what we call when. Now you are doing precision. Let me use an example. Look at this coin. This is market coming down, all right, from a high. Okay, so the market was coming from, look at it now, for instance, this is a downtrend. Okay, even in a downtrend, you are still getting trade. That's why I always recommend pick few instruments in crypto and all of that, in forex and all of that. So you have the market coming, traveling this way. So the down may not be your interest, perhaps, but the when it's shooting up are much of your interest. Now, so looking back to the way it traveled down to this point, what am I supposed to look at? By textbook format, this is a structure that the market was breaking. This is the external structure, this is the internal structure, meaning that this is the lowest that was established when the market came down. So that means every market have what we call a swing high and swing low, or a swing low and swing high. Using an example of this coin, if this coin, why it was coming from somewhere, now it created this low. Can you see now? That is came down and move up. It came down and move up slightly. But this move up was not up to the. That's a nice one. It moved down again, right? In this moving down, what you expect is that this market shouldn't break this. But in a situation where it broke this one, and at the same time even swept this, that means as it is now, this one are becoming internal structure. So that means the next dealing range you are having is this place, this one. So this is like external high now, and this is an external low. So now these 2 points to this point are your interest. Now you are not saying, hey, if this market, it went up here, you say, okay, if you come down here, you want a break, okay? Since it breaks this, see what you are expecting. Oh, you are expecting that this market should now probably travel somewhere. And how do you envisage where it should travel to? Then that's where you take some measuring tape, okay, like Taylor, okay, or fashion designer. So they say not Taylor. So that means you'll say, the market should retrace, because we always say when you are buying or selling, you should sell from premium price and buy from discount price. But look at it. There's something you disregard. There was an external structure here, but there's an internal structure here, meaning that the market actually came here, come back here. That, yeah, an internal low, and the market broke it. This market has actually pushed back already and moved down again and create another internal low before here, come back here, break it again. So this is a break, return back, get rejected here, and sold down. So now the next low that was established was this. The market and creates a new high here. You see this high that was created? Show you something very quickly. So now you are not interested. Oh, then this market, this is a low, and this is a high, and this is a low. So if this low is being established, is created, it's not yet established. This low was created, not yet established. This high was created, not yet established. You ask me, Phil, what do you mean by that? So when you come and you actually want to buy, this is the mistake we make. You are reacting to the movement instead to come and really get where you are waiting for the market for. So this is now the difference. From now on, don't trade like that. How? The market has come down to this point. Now, there's a place you're supposed to be waiting for it. Now, I'm a village man. In those days when we're in secondary primary school, when everybody where if you come from a village, I came from a village, right? And then so when somebody, your friends, your colleagues, they have offended you, the track road to the house from school or from farm, so you go and settle down there to ambush them, right? Did you do that? Many of you did it now. I did that, so that's what I'm telling you. So, so you can now see that waiting for the market is not today. Okay, so now you yourself, you just jump in here, and then immediately, sometimes you can even jump in at this pace, and then immediately you jump in. The market now did like this. I was coming down. As it was coming down here, you close it, and maybe shortly after you just close it, the market start going up again. Chances are there that you may even jump it here. You say it's like this market is not coming down. Then the market came down again. Say this is not my luck. No, go for knowledge first. And the way of knowledge today is not too cumbersome like before. Leverage on knowledge, establish conscience. Now, this what am I supposed to do to find the market here ordinarily when I saw this? That's where you take your masking tape or ruler. So I don't want to be calling it Fibonacci retracement, and then you do this. This is what we call sequence number. So what you're expecting is that, remember I was saying, if you want to buy this market, find a way to buy at a discount price. So that means this is the point the market has gone to. You are waiting for it that retrace down, and to what extent I'm interested in buying when you have come anything below 50%. And so, how do you see that 50%? This is the way we look at it, right? This is the way we look at it. If you look at it from here now, can you see now? So, anything in this green area is a good buy. So you that you are trading sports, it's already a good buy for you. So, but yet we still do some refinement, but there's no necessary thing for you there now. So for me and you who know what we're doing, we wait that, this market need to come down to any point here. We begin to DCA. Especially when you wait for a very better confirmation. So there are other things, because now what you have done is a context. And when it come there, you look at, okay, what area here? Perhaps you now look at this candlestick like this, the last opposing candle before the market start moving is called another block. So that means it return back to the other block. Number two, even that same candle, say this candle down here, the last candle before an aggressive move is a demand zone. So whichever language you are using, all of these are making you look at what to find the market. So you can now see that if you are now entering the market from here, it's going to make sense for you. You're a spot trader, you don't care so much, but you have to still want to get the market at appropriate point, right? So if I'm going to put stop loss, that means your stop loss can be somewhere here, which is going to be about 3 to 4%. And then it's a spot, you hold it, and now ordinarily this is the place I'm supposed to be targeting. Look at it here, because of where this market was actually coming from, right? So now, but this is a rule I give to everybody. I said, if you are a day trader, you are trading, you just want to be picking money from the table on your spot. So once the trade has done at least 4%, take your profit. Or you want to graduate to 5%, take your profit. But if it's a big cap coin like Bitcoin, Ethereum, 3, 4%. Once that done 4%, take the profit and wait for another opportunity. But some of these coins can do like 5, 7, 10%, and all of that. Because if you look at this now, this is about, oh my word. So from here to here is how many percent? This is about 19, 20%. That's massive. And that's one of the things when we talk about the spot trading, you buy low, sell high. Now, if it does not give me another opportunity, so what am I going to do now? So look at it now. It has broken this resistance, which is a swing high. So that means if I want to wage war against this guy, I'm going to wait here. I'll take from here to this high that's been created because this one is abolished. That's the place I will have put it before, but it kept still struggling, making it up here. So that means there's a confluence here or an overlap of the supports into the zone. Because anything below 50%, down is your discount. And so you align with your discount. Then ordinarily, you'll now be looking at this point as another block. Ordinarily here as the resistance before to form a support. And that means if you are going to do something like this, you're going to do something like this. We make it to now trade we are complex. So our complexity make us disobey certain things. We struggle with the market because of the way we are wired. Trading has why is it boring? Days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Is it not supposed to react? But if you have a meeting with somebody, go that way. Do you know what? Let's adjourn this case. We'll come back next week. Let's rethink over it until you come into an agreement. And so if your agreement is not reached, you don't just take law into your hand normally as it is. That's the same thing in the market. Market, the price must you must come into agreement with the price. Because what you're doing is that you're negotiating with it. Irrespective of the market, stock market, crypto market, forex market, any market at all. You can see different market, for instance. Okay, so you ask me, Felix, why do I mark and bought this coin, this stock here, RKT, right? I mark this point. This is an overlap, right? This is an overlap. Oh yeah, that's an overlap. So because if you look at it, you can see that the same market, like I've told you, right? So you can look at it in market. This is a low, and this is an external swing point. Down, this is an internal swing point. So both internal and external actually align. So he swept this as a liquidity and break this as a break. There's an external high and there is an external low and there is an internal low and there is an internal high. So the market came down and took out this low. Make a lot of sense. Okay? Make a lot of sense. So what am I going to be doing? So let me show you something. Just imagine this. This is going to take several days or several hours if you look at it logically. So now imagine, so as at the time I saw it here, I'm waiting. I've not bought. Imagine this is on October 30th or something, 30th, 34th, first. I've not done anything. The market move up again to this point till November. I've not bought, ladies and gentlemen. The market came back again ordinarily. That is November 7th. I have not yet bought. Very, very likely. Now, you see this movement that even did, I may not have bought unless if I'm going down to more lower time frame. And what am I now going to do? Look at simple thing here. So that means where you now say, okay, are you already low? Say yes. So you now see you mark here. So marking here shows that anything, because anything I want to buy a discounted price so that I can sell it and make more money. So here it came down to the discounted price. Anything in this region is my buy area, whichever way. Fine, this is a stock. So that means the first time it came to that area and actually created bands was in the month of that same November 18th or thereabout. So perhaps you have taken a position here and the market continues to move. Return back again and sweep liquidity off this point. It's none of your business because number one, even if you are going to use a stop loss as person who is doing swing trade, position trade, what do you mean by swing and position? You buy and hold it until it give you good profit. Even if you give you a drawdown, it's not your business. Now, imagine as the market had gone up to an extent, probably you didn't take profit because you were not scalping it. Coming to the end of the same November, the 20th something, it came back again and swept the whole thing. Now, listen, this should be a discount for me to add to my position if there are money. Now, because as long as it's here, it has not taken me and not validated. This point here become an established low when this market created this low. Now the market now travels. So now let's look at something. When it come down, you bought more. That's addition for you. So now let's take on the average that the buying price was from here. Now, if you look at it here, I actually have my ruler that I measure. My first take profit is going to be here. That's about 14%. And my second take profit is going to be here. That's about 19%. Now, if that's the case, let's look at it. At what day or time did I close this trade? Okay, on the 25th. Now, listen, it took me many weeks waiting, even up to a month, because this is October ending, November. So I waited for a market from ending of October. I couldn't find a trade. Beginning of November, I couldn't find a trade. You get in there, that's about 2, 3 weeks, give and take. And then until on the 18th of that same November before I could click in. After clicking, it still did within the shortest time return back, then to 20 something of November. So the time it execute and give me my profit, it didn't take up to the time I was waiting for it. I've seen how market can be boring. And that's it. And that's what it is. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have for us tonight. And why I have to go to this extent? This is the last market update for this year, 2025. The next we're going to be having as Sunday weekly market update like this is going to be the year 2026. Now, very quick one. I want to just take a quick reminder for everybody, and if you have your friends, I've explained time without number, and I'll keep saying it because I said when keep saying and repeating good things or good news, it will get to the right people. Like I was telling us, I say we have seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and I must tell you that anything that has to do with investment ROI system, forget about it. I'm not saying you're not going to make money, but you can't build wealth there because you can't give any trust, any not even Felix. Oh yeah, not even Felix. What do I mean by that? Okay, you're going to see a lot of platform. They will tell you, even especially with robots, AI robots and all of that, they're going to tell you a lot of things. Now, write it down. Any robot, any robot that is not operating an independent system, that is, you connect the robot to your independent exchange or broker. Example, in crypto, I've been using 3 Commerce robot for more than, I think I should be more than 9 years on 3 Commerce. So if I'm going to use robot, the robot should be a service provider and I will connect with my broker or exchange. While the trading is going on, the robot should not have access to my phone outside operation of trading. So if it's going to be that somebody created a platform, let's say Plan B Express created a platform and decided to say we launch our robots, and the same we that have a platform you deposit money. Now, be careful. I'm not saying you're not going to make money, but I think I can speak from experience. Be careful. No matter how juicy it looks like, it's either you regret or a group of people you bring later will regret. There are no platform like that. If it's going to be a service provider, it can be at the same time be a regulated platform for asset management. Be very careful. So, essentially, this is happening in crypto. I have to say this so that we have seen the good, the bad, the ugly. We have been dealt with seriously. So, any platform, it being whatever, even if you look legitimate, if I bring example now, you will remember that this thing this guy is saying is just true. If you have been Plan B or not even Plan B or the platform, you've been in crypto. Let's start mentioning some. Even some that thank God for some that are legitimate, but they went bankrupt. Something like Celsius went bankrupt, but because they were asset management themselves and they were the one running investment, all right, although bringing other services to run investment, that was why it was even lighter. So that one was better. Then you have a lot of platforms that claim to be doing mining, doing staking reward and all of that. They are the one in charge of the platform. They are the one paying you the ROI. They will lock your money. This aspect of locking your money and you are not in charge of it, money leaving your wallet or your exchange, your broker, into the third party platform. Don't do that. Be careful. Stop. The best, it looks difficult to just pay attention and learn basic. Like what I just did now is very simple, right? It's just that it's boring, but it saves you a lot of nonsense. It's boring, but it's better. If you buy a particular asset, you may be able to buy some asset maybe once in a month. And at the end of the month, you could do 20%. You'll be surprised. And they save you from the unnecessary stress. You just need discipline over your life to be able to wait. That's one side. Good. Now, so all of those boats, this thing, if it's a boat, now we have a lot of boats. I have you trading boat, I have trade commerce boat, we have different boats. It should be connected to an exchange, all right, as a service. And then your money is in your exchange. So you're at liberty to even stop the boat and so that pick your money. Maybe if you are not doing staking, flexible and all of that, you should have liberty to stop it running and pick out your money. Now, any platform that's going to say we lock it for 500 days, we lock it for 200 days, we lock it for 10 days, we lock it for at the expiration, we'll pay you back. You may be lucky for some time, but let's be careful. Okay? It's from experience. Then the same thing in Forex. Somebody just create one platform and call themselves whatever, and now say, put your money, we are paying you percentage. Let it be that you have a broker and a service provider, because one of the most ultimate activities now is automation, copy trading and automation. If it's an automation, copy trading, to be a service provider in the system, but the broker should be, you put your money and you're at liberty to disconnect the service provider and able to pick out your money. Okay? That these are passive income you could do. And that's one of the things we have put together on Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club, whereby you create an account in the broker, you connect to strategy. Funny enough, we're doing fantastic percentage profit every month. And if you are not interested again, you stop it, withdraw your money, and go home. So we have 6 segments already now. Although the sixth one is coming soon, but at least we have 4 running very powerfully already, and these are passive. These are massive and hand-free system. Then I still encourage active trading, even if you don't have enough time. Plan yourself. You must not do day trading. You must not do scalping. You can do intraday and swing. All right. For instance, I dropped a signal. Was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday on ZEC, still on future, and IPT on spot. So within yesterday to today, that has done like 50% because of leverage. That's good. So let's say you put just $200 into that, 50% of that, that's $100. It makes more sense for you. Now, it's lack of discipline. Over time, you will even prefer to be doing it by yourself, even if it's once in a week or once in a month you're able to do. You make good profit, you relax. You won't be afraid of, I'll give my money to Felix. He may come back tomorrow and tell me stories. These are the things we encourage people, to disabuse themselves against all of that. So that's why we have Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club. One of the fantastic things right now, promo is ongoing. Promo yearly subscription to Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution is 150, but the promo is 50%. That means you are paying $75. Remember what I said? You have access to connecting to automation, so the hands-free, your money can be running. You have access to trading, both crypto, spot, futures, and forex, synthetics. Then signals for that. We have scanners that can show you where to buy, where to sell. Yes, we have all of those things. Then you still have, you want to learn to become professional. You have access to learn to become more professional. Then we give stock recommendation, right? We tell you stock, buy this and all of that. Then you can build affiliates. Some brokers run good affiliate rebate system and partners. So we have some broker we'll partner with that if you want to build affiliate. That's what we call residual. And perhaps Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club, if you refer any friend that subscribe you have 20% of the subscription fee of that fellow, not his investment money, but whatever is subscribed to have access yearly subscription, right? You have 20% of that. I think that's powerful. So we have come to the end of the class, and this is marvelous. And we expect you to maximize every bit of opportunity we have. Okay, somebody is asking a question for us in Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Any other person? So, thank you very much. Now, just like I've said, please, I'm just begging everybody because I've seen a lot, a lot of money being wasted into different platforms and all of that. And I want to take this time again to beg those people who are already subscribed and on the Plan B Express Cash Flow Solution Club. Like I think I saw somebody this morning, or yesterday in the evening, or this morning, I think when I was going through the platform, the signal that was dropped that did when it has done 45%, and I think we posted the update, and somebody say he didn't see it. Please, when you are added to the forum, that's why we say it's not just a chat, but it's a university of learning and earning. So please go through the platform. That's why we put it together and have different tabs where stock recommendation is, where crypto spot is, where futures is, where forex is, and where the business automation and all of that. Sometimes we'll bring the updates. I'm sure last month, I'm sure last month on one of the automation, 24x automation, that we did about 24% or 26% in a month. That does not mean it's going to be constant like that. Sometimes maybe 15%. But can I even tell you something? I can tell you boldly speaking that if you pay attention and stay committed, what you will even make by yourself independently, buying into it, buy it, sell it, you end up making more than what automation will make for you. But what is the advantage of automation? Automation is like a backup for you. There are times will be that you will not even be available. Sometimes you will be doing it, psychologically speaking, you'll be making error. Yes, that's the truth. Your spirit is not just aligning, and then automation will have helped you. You could have asked me, Felix, why will I? So, for instance, why will you still diversify money into stock market when crypto is doing massively well like this? You can see diversification is scriptural. It's a give portion to six. It's a even seven, or give up to eight. He said, "You know not what evil that will come upon the earth." Do you understand? So most time I tell people, I said everything we're doing in business is actually scriptural prescribed. So it's a scriptural prescription that we are working on, and not that you do not have faith, but diversification in business is one of the biggest risk management tools that we establish. Just like in stock, you don't punch all your money in one sector because one sector may do bad this month or this year and do well next year. And that's the ideology about ETF. So you don't only buy one stock, you spread tentacles. If this one is not doing well, this one is doing well, and all of that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. And so, work with yourself, build yourself now. By next year, 2025, 2026, I'm sorry, those of you on the Cash Flow Solution Club, we're starting 90 days challenge. All right. And some of us who are going to be working from month of January, some of us go embarking on spiritual, adventure and all of that. I think that will give you a good sanity to build up your activities and all of that. We're going to start immediately we enter January 1st, 90 days challenge straight up. I'm going to give you the schedule of how it's going to be on the group. So pay attention to it. Take it serious and let's help ourselves for this 2026 coming. It's going to be indeed breaking of new ground for us everywhere. Congratulations and you have a nice time. Bye for now.